Welcome to the Other Dads podcast. Two first-time fathers trying not to screw this up.
Welcome back to the Other Dads podcast. This is episode 4. I'm Josh.
I'm Christian.
And as promised in episode 2 at the end, we've got an interesting show today. It is June 24th. Christian has had his son.
Yes, I have.
He is officially the first true father of the Other Dads.
Hey, not every father's a dad.
That's right. That's right. We've got an exciting episode today. Hopefully, we're going to talk about Christian's birth, the experience during labor, first week at home. We're going to hopefully talk to his nurse and get his perspective on how Christian did. We'll find out if the birthing plan practice from last week came into effect. We'll get into some segments of the week, some parenting we saw, some vocab, a new segment, which Christian will get into. And of course, did we see the fellas this week? But first, we've got a game to pick.
Yes, we do.
It is Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
2 words. The best 2 words in sports. Game 7.
Game 7. We've got the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. I don't know what the distance is between those two teams, but it seems like that's got to be probably the furthest distance between the hockey teams.
Whenever you hear the Florida Panthers, it looks like a typo to me. You're like, did Carolina move?
Yeah, I don't really think that Florida should have hockey teams. I told Lady G that this week. I don't know if that might offend any of our Florida hockey fans, but I don't really feel like they should have.
I'm right there with you. I'm tired. The Tampa Bay Lightning, they had a good run. It's stupid.
They've got like 4 teams.
Yeah,
that's not true, but they've got a couple.
It's the hockey capital of America is Florida.
Yeah. Christian and I are not huge hockey guys. I'm a Red Wings fan. I think I've watched 1 game in the past 2 years.
I've got some good hockey terms. I've got put the biscuit in the oven. That means score a goal. I think that's it. I understand what being offsides is finally.
Yeah, I am a big minor league. I've been to a lot of.
Oh man, they got Alanis Morissette out here. Is that right? No, it's not right.
I don't even know who that is.
She sings.
What was that song?
She sings. Isn't it ironic? You know.
No.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Keep singing it. Keep singing it.
Well, I started off with Zombie, which is not Alanis Morissette, but she sings
with Zombie.
Yeah, not even close.
Zombie.
Yeah,
Zombie.
Yeah, no, she sings. Isn't it ironic? She sings
in your head.
No, not that. But anyway, it's here neither here nor there. But
we're pumped to talk.
Yeah, we know hockey.
I've got the I like to say pucks on net. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Just get some shots up. That's what I'm always looking for.
The most shots on the goal usually wins the game.
I'm a big time go to a minor league hockey game. A lot of diehard fans there with season tickets, and I'm just sitting down in the lower rows, just yelling, "We got to get the puck on net. We got to score. We got to shoot more."
I like the thumb downs, give them the thumb down, the hockey players. And it reminds me, I went to a horse race once, and I don't know anything about horse racing, so I just always did, yeah, come on, yeah, like you just kind of channel the vibes of the place. So yeah, that's the same energy for horse racing as me in hockey. Just a lot of hit 'em. Yeah, that's what they do at horse races. Come on, yeah.
All right, this may be a longer hockey intro. I wanted to give the scouting report on the Oilers. They've got the prodigy Connor McDavid. They say, from everything I've heard, is he just looks a little different than everybody else out there. Skates a little faster. He's got a little of a Jimmy McElroy in him. He's just bred for this as a young child. But that's about the extent of my scouting report for the Oilers. Let's send it over to Christian for the Panthers. What's the keys to the game?
I've always said that I think the Florida Panthers are on a Mount Rushmore for worst brand and team awareness. So I'm going with the Oilers if I get a pick.
A lot of Panthers slander early.
Yeah. I mean, 3-0 lead. What are we doing?
Yeah, this is exciting. All right, Christian, let's
Yeah, that
pick
was a
here.
lot
Let me get
longer
my
hockey
coin.
talk than I thought, but, I feel bad because that was just hockey slander is what that was. All right, let's do the generator.
All right.
Yeah,
Christian is
tails
tails,
never
I am
fails.
heads. I am 3-0, I believe.
Yeah, he wins every week, but I win the games. He wins the toss, I win the games. I'm up 2-1.
Yep, I am 1. I am down 1-2. Here we go.
What the
Didn't
oh,
flip. Here we go.
now time.
Oh!
Give me the
Tails.
Oilers. Coming back from 3-0. Suck it, Florida Panthers. Hockey needs to leave your state. Let's go. Lock it in.
And I've always been a big fan of the Florida Panthers. I've always thought that hockey starts in Florida, you know. It's one way to escape the heat is to get on the ice. So these guys are ready.
What are we drinking? What are we drinking this week, Josh?
That's right. I have gone to play the hits finally. It's not Foster's Premium. It's not Heineken Zero. I've got good old faithful Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Can't beat it. Cannot beat it.
What about you, Christian?
I got a little funky this week. DC Brow or Brew. I don't know how to say that word. BRAU. It's a local DC beer. There was a 12-pack with 4 flavors, so should keep me interested. And I want to make it known this is the first pod both guys a brewski, like with alcohol. So
Hey, cheers to that.
cheers to that.
Are you going to
Yeah.
raise your can? Cheers. Okay, thank you. All right, Christian. Well, it's June 24th. Oh, how does it taste?
Good Indian Pale Ale. It's solid. Yeah, hazy.
Are you an IPA guy?
I'm willing. I'm willing. No, I like them.
You're
I'm usually a light beer guy, but I, you know, I like beer. The only thing I don't really like is a heavy beer.
that would be an IPA if I'm not
No, no, no,
mistaken.
like a dark one. Sorry.
Like a nice
And the
Guinness.
puck is dropped. I don't. Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Put it in the oven. Oh, yes.
I think people are either really it's like you're one way on the spectrum when it comes to IPAs. You're either I only drink them or you've never had one and you never will.
I am exactly not either of those. So I think your comment is false. I like them, but I don't always have to have them.
And that was talking IPAs.
Yeah.
All right, Christian. Well, it's it's June 24th.
Yeah, we're bearing the lead here.
Last week last we talked was the day before your planned induction day.
Yep.
And you recorded something for us on your way into the hospital. So let's start the episode with that.
What's up, everyone? Coming in from the hospital, Nova Fair Oaks. Thanks in advance for all that's about to happen. We got here about 5:30. It's around 8:30 now. Coming out to get the bags, and been a good experience so far. Lady A and I got here 30 minutes early, and they admitted us and got settled in. I'll admit, when we met our nurse, it was a male nurse. We were a little gun shy, a little worried, but he was great, really nice guy, and yeah, just he's real talkative and walked us through everything and what's going to happen, and started side attack. So that's the first kind of induction thing we're doing. And when he was describing side attack, he said, "Hey," to me. He said, "Hey, did you ever dip?" And I said, it's happened. And he said, "Yeah, that's what you do with this side attack. You put it in like you're packing a lip." And he was like, "I don't know if that's helpful for you, Lady A." And she was like, "Nope, not helpful at all." But kind of a cool bro moment. But no, he was great. When he put in I don't know what he called it. Something, he got the vein or something in there. Something you can tie into later. He said, "All right, that's in there really well. Really happy with that. We killed that one." And then he said, "But it's a little messy. Looks a little bit like spaghetti." I was like, maybe don't say that. But also told him about the podcast, and he said he'd be down to come on, and maybe we'd say what we think things are, and then he follows up and says what they actually are. He was about it, so maybe we'll get him on. So that'd be fun. How's morale? Morale is pretty good. Lady A is a little disheartened that things haven't progressed naturally, of course, and that we're here. But the Lord is good and in control, and we're gonna trust Him. So, yeah, that's we're just kind of talking through that, and excited to meet Him nonetheless. And I think it's gonna go well. We got a great team, great doctors. They're doing all the right stuff. So, yeah, we're gonna settle in for the night. Tonight, they said, should hopefully be a restful night. They'll administer that side attack every 3 hours, so we'll see the nurse every 3 hours or so, and hopefully get some good rest. And then it should get interesting in the morning when they do Pitocin. So they're thinking that we'll meet them tomorrow night. So we're gonna buckle up. Update on my quarters. So yeah, we've got like a sweet little corner. We got the window scene. When I first got in there, I thought it was just a chair, and it had a little pull out for the feet. But then the nurse showed me. Our second nurse showed me, a female nurse showed me, if you pull it out even harder, it actually becomes a little bed. So I'm set up pretty nicely. I've got a nice little setup, got some blankets, some pillows, and they took good care of the birthing partners at this hospital. So yeah, we've got a little pantry for snacks and sodas, and we've got a TV, got the finals game on. So we're just kind of getting cozy for the evening and gonna see what the Lord brings, and we're hopeful, and we just can't thank our family and friends enough for their thoughts and prayers, and just the support we've had getting us here, and we're excited to meet them. Can't wait to meet Big J, as Lady A said, and you'll know his name soon enough. But yeah, that's the update. Thanks, y'all.
All right, just like that, 1-0. Oh, 1-1.
What? I'm way behind, dog. What?
What a goal!
1-1?
It's 1-1.
They just scored. It's 1-0. Mine.
Oh my God, you're so far behind.
that's like so far behind.
That was the coolest moment we've had yet, and
That's very far behind. Let me lock back in. You can act like I was there.
well, we're gonna have to get your response here.
1-1, baby. We're tied up.
Yeah,
That's right. My Edmonton Oilers can't be stopped.
it's gonna be a shootout. This is what we signed up for.
Those people want.
Panthers had their first lead since game 3, and it lasted 2
A
minutes.
lot of activity
So that is not.
on the net.
Yes, yeah, a lot of shots on net, a lot of action in the red circle, as they call it.
These goalies, they better have packed their lunches.
Someone's going home tonight.
Who's it gonna be?
All right, Christian. The scene is set. You've gotten to the hospital. You've checked in with the nurses. You've got a male nurse. Take it away.
Man, like I said, the optimism in that was so awesome. Like I'm like talking about my quarters, and man, there's just so much to cover. My son JJ was born on Wednesday the 19th, and so if you're out there and you can do math, my wife was in labor for 2 days. Active labor started on the 18th around 7 a.m. So she was in active labor for 24 hours. Yeah, so 18 hours after her water broke is when our son was born. So it was just so long. Labor was so long, so hard, and so yeah, it's funny looking back. But yeah, we got there. Oh, I want to say this. It's a little serious, but I just want to talk. Off the top. I wanted to say, Nova Fair Oaks Hospital, the staff, from labor and delivery to postpartum, incredible. Like, couldn't be better people. So nice. I never once did my wife not get great care, whether it was 2 a.m. or 10 a.m. Like they were just so good. so caring. And some people said, I can't believe they tortured her. She was in labor way too long, but like she wanted to be in labor. She wanted to put in all that effort. And I think the biggest fear was that she would feel rushed, and she never was. So that's off the top.
Hmm.
It was couldn't have been a better staff, and care team. So just wanted to say that. But yeah, we got there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Kudos to, I don't remember, Inova Oaks.
Inova Fair Oaks.
Kudos to Inova Fair Oaks. I was not there per se in person, but in spirit, and I heard a lot of great things. So shout out to them for taking care of you and Lady
The
A.
last Nova Fair Oaks thing here, people always trash hospital food, and it wasn't it it wasn't, like, "Hey, babe, date night, let's go to Nova Fair Oaks Hospital." Like, it's so that's not what it was, but also it wasn't bad. We had some good options. I got pretty tired of it towards the end, just like, it's just
Well, that was pretty.
one menu.
I mean, that's pretty quick.
No, I was there for 5 days, dude.
I mean, that's pretty quick to get tired of it, though.
Okay, what restaurant can you eat at for 5 days in a row?
May I begin?
3 meals.
Waffle House,
3 meals a day, 5 days? No, get out of here, dude. You ain't no way.
Chick-fil-A,
No, you
Papa John's.
that was weak.
Uh, I'm trying to stay with things people would know.
Yeah, just name local shops.
Panda Express.
So, no, it was good. I mean, I just I wanted to say that. I was kinda worried about it, and I didn't hate it. It was solid.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so we got set up. Then oh, yeah, you mentioned the male nurse. Um I don't know if he wants to say his name yet, so we're waiting to hear back. Yeah, when we saw him, we were a little nervous just because Lady A had always wanted kind of a female team, and we were more than empowered to say whether, like, basically when you get in there, if you don't get along with your nurse, you're allowed to call what's called the charge nurse and request a new one at any time. And she never felt like she wanted to do that. He was incredible. Excited for the listeners to meet him. But was a little nervous. But he totally was super good. He has amazing energy in there.
How does the charge, is that like do you just tap the arm? Is that a call to the bullpen and they bring somebody else in?
Yeah, I think I made the same reference to him, to be honest, about the bullpen.
That's
But
not surprising.
yeah, no, you have a little phone. Yeah, this is good. This is good. I forgot about all these details. So you've got the operating bed, right? Well, maybe this is pretty standard in hospital. Now that I think about it.
So they've got this bed.
No, and you've got a phone connected to it, and your nurse has a phone number, and then you have your nurse, and you have the nurse above that nurse, and then when we're in postpartum, you got like lactation consultant has a phone number, and you can call any of them like a speed dial, and so, but I do think that's pretty standard in any hospital you go into, but it was pretty cool for me. But yeah, you call the charge nurse and you say, and I told him I was like, man, that sucks, like and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Well, I'm glad you have a charge nurse because that would be really weird to be like, 'Get out.'" Just um, but he said you know, that's the thing, obviously, in that profession, he's aware of is, not every woman's comfortable with that, and that's his number one concern is to make sure they're comfortable, so I don't think he gets offended by it.
Right.
But yeah, I said the same thing. So, we got set up. Another thing is we had lots of nurses, so they work 12-hour shifts, 7 to 7s, at least there. So we had our first nurse to 7 p.m., and then we had someone else come in till 7 a.m., 7 p.m. So that's how the kind of turnover works. And our male nurse, he actually, and I'm calling him that because I don't know if I can say his name yet. So nothing wrong with male nurses, but he actually, it was so cool. We connected so much that he came back and visited us when we were in postpartum. Well, actually, no, no, no. I take that back. He did do that. But on Wednesday, when we were still in labor, he was our nurse again that morning. So he went away. We had 2 more nurses. Then he came back and he worked with us and helped deliver the baby. And then that night he came to us in postpartum. So that was pretty cool. Okay, so I don't want to take too long on how everything went, but I want to let everyone know kind of what went down, especially given the birth plan talk last week. So started the side attack, contractions started going really well. Lady A was doing amazing. so much so that they actually weren't going to start. It's called pitocin because they were doing so well. And then she's having contractions all through the night, or like smaller ones, but then come like 7 a.m. She really starts having contractions. And then around, what was that, 2? Her water broke, and then things got intense. Like, yeah.
I want you to tell me about water breaking. Was it? I mean,
Oh yeah, this is crazy.
was it cliche? Was it like a big thing,
It
or was
was.
it
It
like, oh,
was.
that was not exciting?
I thought it was gonna be a letdown, to be honest. And it's like they kinda, when you go to the OBGYN, they kinda tell you, like, doesn't always
Object.
it doesn't always happen, all this kinda stuff. And, but yeah, we're just sitting there, she's doing like it's, when you're there, you're doing all these positions and repositioning and moving around. We were walking in the hallways and doing everything to get this baby out. And she was in some maybe the mile circuit, like a laying down position. And I'm showing her, there's like evidence that if you show the baby pictures of the baby from the ultrasounds or like other things that bring you joy, I'm showing her pictures of our dog, and she just goes, ah, and I was like, Are you okay? What's going on?" And she's like, "It just popped." And I was like, "What popped? Are you okay? Like, what's happening?" And she's like, "Something in me popped." And I was like,
Was it your
"What?"
was it your ACL?
Yeah, I was thinking she tore her knee, but yeah, her water broke, and
Babe,
we can't afford an ACL right now.
we can't do an ACL right now.
This is not the time.
Walk it off.
Yeah.
Walk it off.
So no, her water broke. Yeah, and she was like, she like heard. I didn't hear it, but apparently she like heard it and felt it. Yeah, and then she started it started flowing. So that was pretty crazy. Um, yes, her water broke. She was really happy about that. That was answered prayers. She wanted to like for that to happen. Um, and yeah, she was laboring. I mean, and as y'all know from the birth plan last week, the plan was to do this naturally, and so it was labor and really intense labor. We were I was holding her, I was helping her. We had she was doing this like she would sit while she was break because she was having them every 2 minutes, 2 minutes, really intense. So she would sit and rest for a little bit, and then get up and hold my shoulders and like scream and yell, and then sit. So like we're in there.
So you're standing in front of her.
Yep, I'm standing in front of her, and she's just sitting and then getting up, and she's exhausted, man. I mean, she's just so spent. It's probably like 6 p.m. at this point. Doctor comes in. I mean, intense, dude, like screaming, pain. And I
So
tried to do hold on. I tried to do the breathing techniques. She shut me down, man. I was like, "Hey, babe, let's do the vowel sounds." She's like, such a nerd, man. And she's like, "No." She's
I mean, and in Lady A's defense, if she listened to episode 3, she's probably scarred from vowel sounds.
it was too funny. I was trying my best there.
So I got a
Yeah.
question. As you're doing this, there's breathing and she's holding on to you. Like, how many people are in the room?
Oh,
Who's with you?
really good question. So, I think there's
Thank you.
this idea that there's lots of people in the room with you, like, at all times. Not at all. They come in if they see, so, okay, you're hooked up on monitoring, at least at this hospital, you have continuous monitoring. I think it's also
So wait. So at this, you're telling me at this hospital, not only do they have a bed and a bedside phone, they've also got monitoring
No,
systems?
okay, yes, they do. But what I'm saying is our
Wow.
baby
Shout out again to Anovo.
Yeah, no pharaohs. No, you've got, yeah, our baby has a 2-vessel cord, right? So it's considered like a at-risk baby because of that. And so it's continuous monitoring, and it's cordless continuous monitoring. So they got these straps on her, and they're tracking her contractions,
Oh, yeah,
they're
yeah.
tracking the baby's heart rate and mama's heart rate.
That's the belt thing with, like,
Yes.
the Iron Man in the middle.
Yes, the
Yeah.
non-stress test stuff you've probably done. So
Yep.
she's that's okay. So they come in and check that up. They come in for vitals every now and then. They come in to administer medication. Um, but otherwise, so that's like, I don't know, maybe hour, 2 hours. At nighttime it's less. Um, so
Wait. So it's just you 2 in there for, like, hours at a time?
yes, okay. And I wanna
Gosh.
before I go into the pain thing, I wanna say this about the continuous monitoring. This made me laugh so much. They were like, "Yeah, you can do with this continuous monitoring now, and that's cordless. You can do anything. You can move. Yeah, you don't have to be bed bound. You know, you can go anywhere. Every time we went somewhere, they had to come in and fix it. It's like the way it was advertised, it was like you could be doing backflips in these things, man. But like she bounced on the ball, they came in. They we went on a walk, they came in. We we did the stairs, they came in. Like it's like this is the opposite of like free movement. So yeah, no, we were walking the hallways, we were doing stairs, like this little it's like single stepper kind of thing. We were doing some leans, doing the mile circuit. Anyway, yeah, so going back to your thing about no one's in there for like 3 or 4 hours. We and that's not true because they come in to administer medicine. The doctor is every 4 hours. The nurses, it's probably every hour. But this is what happens. She's intense labor, like so intense. She's exhausted, can't hardly she can't talk. She's not listening to my vowel sound corrections. She's um and the doctor comes in, they do a check on how much she's dilated. They say, "Hey, you're 4 centimeters. I'll see you in 4 hours." And Angela's like,
Oh.
4 more hours before I even talk to you again? And I was like, "Couldn't it be over in 4 hours?" She's like, "Yeah, I'll see you in 4 hours." And that's when Angela started to think about doing the epidural because she was just so exhausted.
So did they explain, is this a nurse or a
That was the
doctor?
doctor.
And did they explain, like, was there a reasoning for 4 hours?
I mean, she just wasn't you gotta think about you gotta get to 10 centimeters, so she's she was at 4, and that was 10 hours in, I guess.
Oh
So,
gosh,
yeah, and that's not everyone's story, and, being
no.
induced is a little different, so
Mhm.
it might not be as fast. But yeah, she said, "I'll see you in 4 hours," and Lady A was like, "I I think I need the epidural." And, I'm like, once again, like,
And you said, "Doctor Bill, is she progressing?"
yeah, we talked about that. I asked them, "How is she progressing?" And I said, "What's going on? How are contractions?" I was on it, man, and, we're gonna ask our nurse to give an assessment on how I was, but, yeah, I was on top of it. I talked to Lady A. When Lady A said wanted the epidural, I said, "Hey, let me talk to her privately, please." I was like, "Hey, you know, this is something you said you didn't want. I just wanna check in with you, make sure this is what you want. You have my support, but, like, I just wanna make sure what this means." And she was like, "Yes." Just shut up about the stupid plan. Um
Oh, that's great.
yeah, so I think she one thing this was sad for me, but it's not it wasn't meant this way, and this goes back to old my pops last week saying you gotta have thick skin in there in the birthing
Yep.
room. When I was holding her each time during the contractions, at the end of it, she would scream, "Help me." And, I'm like, "Well, I'm trying. I don't know what to do here." And then later, like, the next day, she was like, "Hey, that" she was like, "That has nothing to do with it's not like you weren't helping me, but in the moment, you're like, 'I'm trying.'" But no, that was kinda funny. So
You did text one of my notes from our short interactions was you did I thought of your dad. You did text me saying, "You just gotta have thick skin in here."
yeah. Yeah, Pop said some good stuff.
So, I don't wanna go back too much, but so you have the next 4 hours or even before that when you're doing contractions, there's no one else in there besides you guys as far as, like, "Hey, maybe you guys should try this," or, "You're doing this wrong." Just you guys are on your own as far as, "Let's try this, switch up how we're breathing," or whatever. That's just you guys.
Yeah, good question. Pre-epidural, it's pretty much you. It's like, "Hey, if you wanna move, move. If you wanna lay down. If you wanna try positions, do the mile circuit. If you" all this kinda stuff. Yeah, it's kinda up to you on what you like and what you're used to and what your body wants to do. So, yeah, I would say that's true.
Mm.
Post-epidural, which we can get into that was scary, but, they help a lot more because y basically, you lose the mobility of your legs. I mean, because you're trying to reduce the pain and it goes into your spine and so they move you. Like the nurse team comes in, they come in like 3 or 4 deep. they'll move you, they'll time it for like an hour, then they'll move you, then time it, and they keep moving you. What did she call it? Spinning baby. One of our nurses kept saying. Um,
Yeah, that sounds like it.
so no, but before then, yeah, you're kind of just hanging out. And most people still just, it's not most people. A lot of people don't have this long of a labor. One thing I wanted to say that I was really nervous about, we talked about last week, was not making the joke, like just
Yep.
I made the joke numerous times. I've made jokes, and Angela would be in pain and laughing, and she would just be telling me to shut up because laughing hurt. She-
Mhm.
She'd be like, "Shut up," and that happened in postpartum so much. I would be making fun of our baby, and she would be in a lot of pain, and so it happened. I did not listen to my own advice to not make the joke.
Any jokes you can share?
I mean, there's a really stupid one. There's like this area that says hats only. It says hats only, okay? But it's obviously a reference to those surgical hats. And I was like,
Duh, of
and I'm
course.
like, I'm wearing a hat. I'm in, baby. And she thought that was so funny. I don't know why. I was like, we can get in there. I've got an exclusive access because of my hat. um, So we start the epidural. That's crazy for those out there. It's like in your spine, from what I
Mhm.
understand. And okay. It's being administered while she's contracting. So you have to
Oh.
make your spine. You have to like open it up essentially and lean. And she's contracting, and there's a nurse in there that's like holding her so she doesn't move while the epidural's going in. And they're like,
And are they telling you to clear out, or where are you?
"Oh, I'm right there, baby. I'm locked in." I'm holding her hand. I don't think I ever left her side. It was scary, man. And that's the biggest thing, like the biggest thing I would tell anyone is that I
Let's do it later. Save your takeaway.
oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm holding her hand. And I didn't really leave her side ever. So I'm there during that. It's kind of praise God, they got it on the first go. A lot of times they don't, the epidural. They have to do it numerous times. But it's kind of scary, dude. They're like, let me know if you're feeling it in one leg or the other, because I guess you're not supposed to. And Angel's like, right leg, left leg. And I guess this person's like steering this thing. It's pretty nuts. Yeah, yeah. Um, After that, her labor got way less active and intense in regards to like, I'm telling you, from 7 a.m. to when that went, I think around 5 p.m., I was like always on my feet. I was like taking care of this thing, then Angela, then going to get food, then Lady A, then doing this thing. And then like I was like, I had 2 minutes basically to do anything because then I had to come back to help her during the contractions. The epidural came in. She
Uh,
she was able to lay down. She was able to get a nap in after a really intense day. Those kind of things.
Now, side note, when you went to get food, were you on a timer? Gotta get back before the next contraction?
I was trying to, yeah.
Was
The
that
pantry was right across.
were you feeling guilty? How did because I've heard from some others that, shouldn't eat or they might not want you to eat.
Yeah, okay, for as much as Lady A didn't eat, I overate. I mean, it
Jeez.
was 3 a.m. and I was powering an egg
We're not
an egg salad sandwich, dude.
did not join alongside in the starvation.
Dude, I was expending a ton of energy. Um,
Babe, I hear you, but I will not be my best if I
no,
don't have an egg salad sandwich
she
in me.
never asked me not to eat. But I was just like overeating. They got this pantry. It was really good. I mean, it had coffee, which I appreciated, and it had egg salad sandwich, a chicken salad sandwich, which I had both. It had they had some graham crackers. They had some fruit. They had
Angela, you come back in, Angela's having the most intense contraction. You're like, "Babe, I got the sampler, egg salad and"
in postpartum. They had a freezer. I had a DiGiorno pizza.
Oh,
Hey
hey
yo, single serve.
it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
No free ads. No free ads. So we do epidural around 5, around I think 7, maybe 8. Doctor comes back. She's at 6 centimeters dilated, which is great news. And so they're like, "Hey, at this progress, we're aiming for the morning for delivery." We actually got a little bit of rest that night, a few times, which, like I said in the interview, the quarters were pretty good. I had a nice little bed pull out thing. I had checked on Angela a bunch through the night, of course, and they're coming in. And there's a few times they came in, Angela's heart rate, something happened, they had to do oxygen, and then, baby's heart rate was doing something, nothing dramatic, but yeah. Anyway, doctor comes in around 4, still at 6 centimeters. Doctor comes in at 8 no, at 7 AM for the shift change, still at 6 centimeters. And she had mentioned the thought of a cesarean at 4, but we were really hopeful about things to pick up and to be progressing. But essentially at around 7, it had been 18 hours since since the water broke, and the baby was getting more and more at risk for sepsis. We'll see if the nurse comes on and it corrects that, but I think that's what it was. And she had been laboring for over 24 hours at that point. And so they strongly suggested a cesarean. And they basically, the doctor assured Angela that she had done everything she possibly could and was doing great. And but there's like three things for a successful vaginal birth. It's power of contractions, um, pelvic compatibility or something like that, or pelvic. Actually, I don't know what that one does. And then P for passenger. And she said, I think this is just a passenger thing. Like he's too big. Yeah. So ultimately, we
Big J.
Big J. Yeah, like we mentioned, we were worried about that. We ultimately ended up having to do a cesarean, which I'm telling you was an emotional moment. Lady A was really sad, obviously. And to those who get cesareans, it's a very awesome thing. I mean, it saved our son's life, saved the mom's life. It's just, I think the preference is just for vaginal for many reasons, but a lot of people have to do that, and we're just so thankful that this technology exists, that we're in a country where it can happen, or else our son wouldn't be born, and my wife could be in serious, health
Mhm.
concerns. So, but yeah, it just wasn't her preference, and she had done a lot of work during pregnancy to like hopefully avoid these things, and it picked this hospital in particular because it had a really low rate. That was why we went to
Mhm.
this one that was really far away from our home. Just kind of a sad moment. And as her husband, I was emotionally
Yeah.
wrecked for her. I'm telling you, I was bawling my eyes out. I'm crying. I'm telling the doctors like, I said, Doc, can you just assure my wife that she worked her butt off and did everything she could, and I was just so sad for her.
Mm.
And then Ballin was praying for her as she leaves, and as they go to prepare her to go back for cesarean. I'm sitting in the hallway before the cesarean, bawling, praying. Got some. I was talking to some people that sent me some good scripture through that moment, but it was really emotional and hard just because I saw how hard Lady A had worked. I saw how great of a mom she is, how much effort she was putting into having this kid, and someone had texted me and said like, you haven't even seen it yet. She's about to have major abdominal surgery for this child. Like that's so
Yeah.
just so Lady A, shout out to Lady A. Never been more proud of someone. So strong, so beautiful. Yeah, it was amazing to be by her side and to support her through that. And so yeah, go back to cesarean. They I got oh yeah, this kind of funny. The hat thing comes up. I they gave me the they gave me the little surgical hat, and I put it over my actual hat. And we're leaving. I mean, this is a really serious thing. It's not an emergency C-section. We're not rushing around, which is awesome. We had some time, and they're like, "Sir, you
Sir.
cannot wear your hat." And I was like, "Well, it's under the hat." They're like, "Sir, you can't wear the hat." And so I had to take my hat off. But
Did you actually say that, or did you not realize you had the hat on still?
no, I was like, I wanted to wear my hat. I want my son's footprints on my hat. So my dad did. I wanted to do with the Rangers World Series hats. But yeah, they're like, "So you can't wear the hat, sir." It
Doctor, I need my son to know he's a Rangers fan.
yeah, I mean, so yeah, that was funny. So we go back there and she's set up. I mean, the team in there, it's like 20 people deep, crazy. The operation. Oh, one thing the doctor said that was really assuring, it's the most common surgery in America is cesarean.
Mm.
And that's
Mm.
not to say that it's easy. That's what she said too. Not to say that it's not intense. It's just to say that the people doing it know how to do it very well.
Right.
And so the risk is really low. And everything went really well, man. I mean, from what I can tell, and she's healing up well. They've got good marks on the incision, but yeah, go ahead.
So, so just to recap here, I mean, it's great to get your insight there I mean, like I said, I was, texting you a little bit here and there and getting updates, and I remember getting the C-section update and just, you know, being able to put myself in your shoes and just knowing kind of what a heavy moment that is and a scary moment. Even just hearing talk about it now, of you're basically left by yourself for a time during that,
Yeah,
and so that's scary. But just to recap in entirety, this was Wednesday morning. You guys got in Monday night,
Monday at 5 p.m.
and
Yeah,
and kind of like official labor contractions, heavy contractions started at what time?
Tuesday 7 a.m.
Tuesday. So basically over 24
Yep,
hours of
active, intense labor.
labor, active, intense labor before just getting to now the C-section. And now it's like, this is the scariest part of all of them, you would say.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was really concerned for my wife. Really, yeah. It's a major operation. I mean, things could happen in there. Luckily, all the vitals were good for baby and mom the whole time. Baby JJ, the whole time, no matter that 24 hours of contractions, heart rate was solid. He was a happy boy, doing good, doing his best to get out of there. So
He was trying hard.
he was trying really hard. So yeah, we're in there. I just want another serious moment. I know the pod's really light. My wife, so faithful. I'm in there holding her hand. They're operating, and she's singing. Oh man, I'm getting emotional. Christ is my firm foundation, and He won't fail.
Hmm.
And it's so beautiful. She's so faithful. Um,
Hmm.
and so I was trying to sing with her, but I was doing what I'm doing now the whole time, just tearing up. Uh,
Christ is
yeah,
mine.
exactly. I was like, I should probably just freaking shut up. Um, there was a sweet moment. She said, "I'm scared. Can I hold something with my right?" I'm on her left. I'm holding her hand. She said, "Can I hold something with my right hand?" And the anesthesiologist said, "I can hold your hand." And I just like the staff was so good, so good.
Hmm.
And then there's the moment, man. There's the moment we heard him cry. They're operating. I'm holding her hand. She's singing that song. I'm bawling my eyes out, and he has that moment, and we just looked at each other, like that's him. That's JJ.
Hmm.
Um, and it was really sweet. But I will say, I was people are like, "Did you cry?" I was so locked in with Angela. Not that I wasn't excited, and I looked and I was excited to see him, but I was just so scared for Angela, like, so the moment was hard in that way. But he comes out, he's screaming, and he is a big, big boy, and he is 9 pounds, 2 ounces,
uh,
and his head
the heavyweight
yeah, that's
champion.
fighting weight, dude. He's, and his head measured in at 14 centimeters. She had no chance. She coulda labored for 82 hours. It wasn't coming out of there.
All right, I'm gonna thinking out loud here. This is my thoughts as you said that. Oh, 14 centimeters. I don't really know how big that is. Why is that important? I guess it's big. Oh, it's supposed to be
That's
10
right. That's right.
centimeters. Okay,
10
all
is
right.
10 is like the max. 10 is like you could have issues happening at 10, you know? And he had a
Yeah,
14 centimeter dome.
he's a smart kid.
I
Smart
mean,
kid.
maybe.
I've already seen it.
Um, yeah, so and then he really was trying, man. So he had a 6 centimeter like circle on the top of his head that was raised, like it looked like an inch because he was trying to push and push and push and push. So mom and him were trying hard, but he just obviously he was too big, man, and it just nothing she could have done would have it wouldn't have worked.
Uh, could I ask a
Yeah.
question? Is he actually doing anything?
I I mean, I don't know. I always kind of think he like has a little like he pulls the all right, let's do it, baby. Like in a rocket ship, like,
What?
you know, you know,
What? What is he pulling?
not like when you're in usual movies and like the plane gets down and they press the button and it shoots them out. That's what I think he presses.
Oh, the ejection.
Ejection, that's the word, yeah. He's he's
It's
like
like 24-hour. He's just hitting that button over and over.
man, something is not working.
Eject.
Yeah, he's just a big boy. His ABGAR scores, which I do not know what that means. It's just the things they do when they test the baby. I think the max is like 11, which is weird. That's not 10, but he was maybe it's a 10. He was an 8 and a 9, so great. He came out really healthy.
Now, is this on a Bishop score scale
No, I
or
don't know what the scale is. I think it's 10. So but he was an 8 the first time and a 9 the second time. Yeah, and
great
yeah,
scores?
really good scores um and what happens next is weird. And I was like, they're like, "All right, Dad, come with us with baby." And I was like, "But what about Angela?" And they're like, "We've got her." And I'm like, "What?" And so you have to
Mm.
like, and I'm like, "Angela, what do I do?" And because we didn't we had no plan for cesarean. Like we didn't know what was next, you know. And so I leave with him while they work on Angela.
That's actually
Go ahead.
that's actually not true. As someone who saw your birth
Oh,
plan, I remember it said, "If cesarean, baby will go to
oh,
Christian."
well, that's what happened. Oh,
You're welcome, Lady A. Somebody read the plan.
speaking of that, I didn't get to cut the cord because of cesarean. Uh,
Oh, spoiler.
spoiler. I mean, I'm mid cesarean here. I didn't get to cut it, which is a bummer, but it's okay. So anyway, I'm leaving. I'm leaving with baby. We go to the recovery wing, and that's where I get to do golden hour. Just me and him in this room.
Here we go. Play the golden hour music. This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
Yeah, and it was sweet, man. It was really sweet. I think he
Wait. So there's a room for the golden hour?
no, I think when you have maybe it's for all cesarean and vaginal, but there's like a little area you go to where you do recovery before you go to postpartum, just like checking that everyone's fine. And so that's where we went. And yeah, I took off my shirt, put him on there. He was kind of fussy and whiny, obviously. Some traumatic just happened. And but he
All
go
right.
ahead.
I wanna get into your golden hour picture.
Oh wow. All right. Which one are you talking about? I think I sent you the better one. Talking about the one where my hair's messy?
Oh, oh, is there a second
Which
one?
one? Show it to me.
I have one with the hat.
No, that's like the nice one.
Oh, so there's a bad
Yeah,
one.
there's a bad one. I'll show it to you because they made me take off my hat, so my hair was messy. What can I say, man?
The hat the hat is the hat's really stealing the show here.
Yeah, I was excited about putting his footprints on my hat.
That's so good. You're so ready for your hat. He's gonna have a great picture, and then, "Sir, you have to take the hat off." But please, I planned
All right, I just
this."
sent it to you. Look at the hair is bad. Very
Oh,
that is hat
yikes.
hair city, dude.
Okay, well, the first one that you sent me with the hat, uh, couple questions. Number 1, when do you take the shirt off? Is there a too early to take the shirt off where you're just awkwardly there with the shirt off? Did you time it well? How does it work?
No, hey,
Oh, you're instructed to take your
hey,
shirt off.
dad, sit there, take your shirt off for skin to skin.
Love it. Okay, so easy guidance there from the team.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Not necessarily related to golden hour. You wore pants. Would you recommend wearing pants?
I didn't wear pants. I wore shorts.
Okay, I did not see from I did not see from knee down. Thought those were a nice pair of
No,
slacks.
I was wearing shorts. I mean, you got to get comfy in there. Be,
That's what I
be,
thought. That's what I thought. But you look like you're wearing some nice khakis.
no, I mean you're there. I mean, I was there for over 24 hours, dude. Like just active labor with Lady A. So yeah, no, didn't do that. Hey, quick
Okay,
interjection. Florida Panthers 27 shots on goal. Not looking good for the Oilers.
it's still 1-1.
Right, that's right. All right. Back
We just started the
super
second period.
serious to talk about this stupid hockey game.
Okay. Next question. So you're just shirtless for an hour
Yeah.
and you're in this room. Are you with other golden hour parents?
No, no. What? Just stick all of no. Just a bunch
Is it a
of
community?
shirtless dads? No. That's not how it works at all. What is this?
Okay. Well, I thought that's what they did.
Why? Why would you think that was what they did?
Well, I didn't until you told me about the room. I'm really fixated on the
Oh,
room.
they just funnel the dads into this room. Just there's
Okay, and
a
then
bunch of dads going,
lastly,
"Hey, yeah."
Bunch of dads going, "Hey." Oh, I just thought of a bonus question. How do we do on push-ups? Did we get any out
No, man.
before? Any band
So
work?
much of the stuff we talked about, we do. You and I, we talked about that you do. You're in the freaking heat of the moment, man. It's crazy. Like, I thought Josh and I would talk periodically throughout it. I thought we'd be able to get more like live stuff going on. Dude, you're freaking locked in. No, you're just like in the moment. You don't have time to think. It's crazy.
Okay, so no push-ups, no band work.
No.
They you didn't in the operation room for the C-section, just drop down
Yeah,
and go
yeah. When
10.
they said don't touch anything, that would have been hilarious if I just got 10 push-ups in.
You didn't say anything about the floor.
Yeah. Nope, didn't get that in.
Okay, and then last question before I give my feedback.
Oh, come
How
on.
did how did your son interact with the chest hair?
Oh, man, he was hungry, and
Oh my
he
gosh.
he didn't I don't know if he ate any, but he definitely got a few mouthfuls, and I just told him I was sorry. It's just, "I'm sorry, JJ."
You said, "I'm
I
sorry."
did, yeah. I mean, I had a je he I mean, what else do you say when someone's got a mouthful of your chest hair?
I'm just picturing your son chowing down on some dark ramen and you just
What?
going, "Sorry, buddy."
I just told him, "I'm not mom, man. I wish I could give you something here, but I all I got's hair."
Okay, well, to give my feedback on the good picture, I mean, this is legendary. You got the Sweet Rangers
The
hat,
hat, am I
you got a
right?
little bit of bite. The hat, no medical cap, but you've got the baseball cap. The bicep looks good. The chest hair is on point. I think it's got a good heaviness in the middle that provides a little bit of a shadow effect for
Kush,
the
kush.
pectorals.
Yeah.
JJ looks very comfortable and cozy. I mean, this is incredible.
Yeah, that one's in the books. The other one,
The other one might be time to burn it.
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep it. I don't know, maybe it'll get out there one day on social medias, but, I'm gonna keep it for myself because it was a sweet moment, even if it didn't look good.
Yeah, just there's a little double chin
Hey,
even.
come on, come on. Don't talk about my son that
I have
way.
to be honest. I have to
Don't
be
talk about my
honest.
son that way.
Okay, so the golden hour delivered.
Yeah, and what I wanna say is, um, it's crazy, man. I think they recognize your voice. So he's crying when that lady's holding me. They give it to me, he's still crying. I just started talking to him. I just started I was just telling him in a real soft voice. I was just telling him, "Hey, man, like, so we've been waiting to meet you." I told him his mom and I's love story. I told him about all the people in the family that wanted to meet him and his grandparents, and I told him about where we live. And I also told him, that DC isn't a state and it's kinda weird. I thought that was funny. Just like just got a little policy in there. Like, "Yeah, it's kinda weird, man, like, whatever, your vote doesn't matter." But
Uh, I was literally about to ask you, so what do you do for that hour? Do you just
yeah, I was
sit
just talking
there
to
and
him
like,
because
"Hey, buddy," but you went on full on like, "Yeah, man." I mean, I was thinking about like this my stock portfolio.
no,
Just
I
I
didn't
don't know.
go into my
I think I need
portfolio.
to diversify.
Did you even listen to what I said? They were very sweet things.
You might as well. You got into policy. You got
Well, I was telling
into
about where we live in our neighborhood, and, yeah, it was sweet other than that. I thought that was just funny. But no, I think what I was trying to get at is he got so calm just listening to my voice, and
but now, did you talk to him a lot when he was still on the inside?
I did, yeah, I tried to read to him, the last probably 2 months, I tried to read to him probably every other day. That might be a little generous, but it was pretty often. And, when you talk to mom, he hears you, and so I would talk to him. I would just kinda talk to him every now and then at nighttime. I'd wish him good night, of course, so, yeah,
Of course.
yeah, all the dads are doing it.
That'll be a fun test because I have not once read to my child in the womb.
Oh, man, you gotta get on it, man. He's gonna be like, "Who the hell is this?"
I probably should. They're gonna hate my
Yeah.
voice. Just crying. What happens if the baby starts crying during the golden did JJ cry at all?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, they cry. I mean, that's what babies do, man.
Are you on your own?
Yeah,
Are you on your
that's what
own?
babies do. They do come and test him during the golden hour. So I'll get into this a little bit, but he was so big that they were really worried about his sugar levels. And essentially, babies make insulin to keep up with mom's sugar levels. And once they're born, they keep making insulin even though they're no longer getting sugar. So they're really worried about his sugar levels. So they started testing him then, and they kept testing him because he was so big. He kept kind of getting some borderline scores, and they prick his heel every time. I swear they pricked his heel like 15 times. His black and blue heel, trying to get blood for that sugars test. So yeah, so they're doing tests on him. They're checking his vitals. He cries during all that because it's cold. Yeah. Then mom comes in. She joined us. Obviously heavily medicated, just incredibly hard surgery. But she eventually kind of comes to and gets to hang out with JJ and feeds him. It was a very sweet moment being with her again. It's just so good to see her. I was super worried about her. Yeah, and that's when you go into postpartum. You get wheeled away.
And so, how long after JJ comes out does Lady A get to see him with the C-section?
Oh, okay. So C-section happens. They weigh him and stuff, and then they immediately bring him over for skin to skin on mom, but they do face to face to mom while mom's still being operated on, so that mom and baby can have that moment. Very sweet
Mhm.
of the hospital, very intentional. So yeah, they were still able to do that. But then mom comes back. She wasn't in a state to hold him at first. She had to kind of they kind of had to work with her and get her together. I mean, it's a major surgery. So then she came to. They did skin to skin. He fed. He fed for like an hour, like immediately, which was beautiful. Yeah. So,
Mm.
um, yeah. Then we go to postpartum, and that's kind of the end of the labor. I mean, it was scary. It was good. I wanted to say some things about it, like some thoughts rather than just what happened. I think no one
'Kay.
can prepare you for how active it was. Like, I never knew how active it was gonna be. People always talk about not sleeping when the baby's here and, "Oh, you know, make sure dad, you got this, be supportive." It's like, dude, I was always going, and it's not a woe is me story at all. I mean, I did nothing compared to Lady A, but man, it was like my feet hurt, I'm tired, I'm crying, I'm worried. Yeah, and you're just going, you're getting stuff for Lady A, you're talking to the doctor. You become the point person because she's going through all this pain, so you were doing all the information, and you gotta be ready and active and know what she wants and, be talking with her and, getting her to the bathroom, and I don't know, it's just a lot, dude.
You're the mediator.
Yeah, so I think how active it was a huge surprise. It's not a walk in the park. Like, you had reached out to me, other people had reached out. I mean, I had so many texts throughout. I just couldn't even if I wanted to, I couldn't. I couldn't even say anything. I couldn't respond. You had no time.
Well, and it's a good point for me because, one of the things I asked you maybe 2 weeks ago was, yeah, we were talking about our birth plans, and one of my my question I saved for post-class was, like, "What are we doing?" Like, "We're just gonna
Yeah,
sit
exactly.
there, I'm gonna be
That's what you think. It sounds,
bored."
"What are we doing?" No.
Yeah.
It,
Not at all your experience.
the beginning of the induction, I think we got there at 5, probably until 4 a.m., started having more regular contractions. Was
That is that is funny. You brought up just listening to your recording for when you got there, and you're so optimistic, but you're just so like, yeah, we're hanging out. It's pretty nice. Got the game
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, like, this
About to go
like an
about to go get my first egg salad
yeah.
sandwich. I think it's gonna be
A
good.
night at the Four Seasons, like just having a little staycation, and, yeah, little did I know, yeah, nothing but that. That was just because induced. If you're not induced, yeah, and you're in labor,
Yeah, you got a wake up call.
yeah, if you're just going straight into labor, there's no watching the finals game. You're
Yeah,
just rocking.
yeah.
So, yeah, I would say that. Yeah, what else? What others that's probably it for that, I'd say. Yeah, that's probably it.
I have a couple like wrap up thoughts on my end,
Yeah.
but I don't want to like do it
But
and then have you
but we
add
gotta go to
on.
postpartum too, that's a whole other section.
Yeah, so for me, hearing about your experience, both now and kind of throughout the process here and there, honestly got me pretty terrified of experience. I was definitely thinking more like I think even when we were first texting, when you had first gotten there, I think it was like the next day, and it was like, yeah, we're not even really like necessarily that close. I think it was when you told me you were 4 centimeters, and that was like I'd already done overnight, was there the next day, and like you just said, it's a different process with the induction and everything. Um, but I was like, okay, this is a long time, and then it went on for another day,
Yeah.
and it had a C-section, it had all these other things, and it's intense labor, and you were you know so active, like you were talking about. There like wasn't any time to do anything else. I was like getting excited for this the last couple
Yeah.
weeks, and then just hearing about this, I was like,
All right.
I'm gonna
Yeah, let
fail,
me let me help you there. I think it was uh,
But well,
go ahead, go ahead. Yeah.
I will say I went back. I'll get into my weekend a little bit later, but saw some old friends at my parents' church this weekend. They've had 2 kids in the last couple of years, and they said both of their kids came out. They were done in less than three
Oh, what
hours,
the
and
hell?
I was like, all right, I like to hear that. We can work with that. So
Yeah, no, that's good.
I've
I he was just too
it's good to it's
he was just too big, man. I mean, that's just all it co
yeah.
he was just a giant baby.
What were you guys
He
feeding
gave
them?
birth to a one-month-old, dude.
Was that mass gainer
Yeah.
early?
What I was gonna say is this experience was beautiful but brutal. Like, my wife and I, that's a we'll always share this together. It's kinda like a shared
Mhm.
misery, type 2 fun. It wasn't fun at all, but, it's just something that we were in there together. We were supporting each other. We were locked in with each other, and, so I'll say that. I think an experience I'm I'll never forget. So, yeah, I hear you though. It's intimidating to do I'm like, "We're gonna do this again?" I don't know.
I know. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey guys, that is going to do it for this episode, which will be part 1 of the birth of Christian's son. I just want to stop here and give you a schedule of what to expect from the show moving forward. We'll have part 2 coming out this Friday, which will include postpartum details, the first couple days at home for Christian and Lady A, and we'll also have our weekly segments. Then next Wednesday, we'll have episode 6, which will be our interview with Zach, Christian and Lady A's male nurse, which will probably be our most informative episode up to date. We had a great time talking to Zach, hearing his story about becoming a labor and delivery nurse, talking about how Christian did in the moment, and what advice Zach has for dads and labor and delivery. So stay tuned for the next couple episodes. And as always, thanks for listening to the other dads. Peace.